My name is the Great John Johnson, and welcome back to another video.
Yes? Me?
Yes.
I don't see how my life is pertinent to the investigation.
Well, we'll work better together if we have more rapport. Come on, Lieutenant, open up a little. You're right. What's there to know about lame Binaclard?
That's a fair point. All right, for the good of the investigation, what do you want to know?
You're wearing glasses. You don't look like other people around here. Tell me a secret about yourself. Do you ever talk with yourself? That's all for now. Do you ever talk?
What do you mean?
You know, when you're thinking, do you ever have conversations with your brain?
I have no idea what you're talking about.
The lieutenant's conceptualization skills must be rather rudimentary. The lieutenant is a police officer of the old school. His concerns are material and extrinsic. But this isn't an old school case.
I get it. You're one of those old school detectives. Nods respectfully. So how do you know? Taps the side of your head. So you're saying your brain never just chimes in with advice or warning or anything?
I can't say that it does, no. When I need to think, I just use my notebook.
The lieutenant produces his small blue notebook and idly thumbs through a few pages. That's where his conversations with himself take place.
Ah, I see.
We all have our different mediums. His is written.
You don't like other people around here.
That's because I'm half Seolite, or quarter. My father's father was from Seoul. So was my grandmother, but from my mother's side. It's not an interesting topic. I don't speak a word of Seolite, and I've never met either one of my grandparents. There is nothing ethnic I can tell you, or anyone else. That's correct.
You feel a slight urge to put the lieutenant down for this. But you can't quite muster enough testosterone.
No, I don't. Glasses are cool. You look stylish with them.
Are they? They're mostly just cumbersome.
You could use a good, normal pair yourself.
Tell me about yourself. Tell me a secret about yourself.
No.
Tell me a secret about yourself.
Your brain sends the signal to your lips, but they refuse the order. Something is paralyzing them. You're pretty sure it has something to do with the lieutenant's eyebrow.
Okay.
The eyebrow is exercising psionic control over you. It's like you're locked down.
What's happening to me? What's happening to me?
Something the matter, detective?
Nothing.
This guy's got authority off the charts. With just the flick of his eyebrow, he's able to make you his thrall.
So what can I do about it?
Nothing. You better hope he doesn't abuse his authority. There's a lot of it.
Help?
If the lieutenant were an evil man, who knows what sort of havoc he could wreak. Fortunately, he is a committed officer of the RCM. He'll only use his powers for the good of the investigation. The lieutenant relaxes his eyebrow, and you seem to regain control of yourself.
Good. Let's change the subject.
There he still is, looking right through you with his white eyes. The body below is entirely dedicated to that corpse smell. Emitting it is all it does now.
Yep. No.
This trash container is locked. The sliding lid has a padlock that says, "Whirling in rags."
Ah, here we go. Yeah, I got this a while ago.
With a well-oiled crack, the lock pops open. It should now be possible to simply raise the lid.
Yes.
Don't. Maybe you shouldn't.
Didn't I just have a premonition that there's something inside of it? I'm not understanding. Open the lid. Another time, maybe.
The smell of rotten food rises to greet you. You see soggy cartons, dirty rags, and organic waste.
I'm gonna throw up.
We're just in time. This hasn't been emptied for over a week.
You see milk and egg rest with one broken egg in it. Some pasta wrapper. Picking up the soggy packages somehow feels familiar. A box falls into pieces in your hands. Batiste Soleil cereal. There are plastic pasta packages below, and turbo noodles. Nothing of note, however. Among the threadbare kitchen towels, something catches your eye. A pair of denim trousers.
Grab him.
As the legs of the slime-covered jeans begin to unspool from the garbage, a rank corpse smell fills the air.
The victim's clothes? Cadaverine odor is faint. If these belong to the deceased, they were removed when he was still in the early stages of decay. Drop them in here, officer.
Bag the torsos.
Guitar-marked blue jeans. Pockets empty or emptied. He wore them with a belt, too, a white belt. The loops appear stretched, but
I'm glad I have my gloves on.
the belt is missing. That's it. Do you see anything else in there? I have another bag here.
Something slimy catches your eye.
I'm reaching for it, baby.
A drab, long-sleeved shirt, olive-colored, appears from the food waste, dripping with pus.
I'm gonna bag this shirt.
This is a military-type overgarment. No label or serial number. This is the kind of rib-knit shirt that's worn over light armor to conceal it in an urban scenario. Anything more?
The rest of the rags are just kitchen variety waste. A yellow old mug that catches your eye. But other than that,
A thrown-out towel. A mug. That's all.
All right. We should go to Gart again and ask if he knows who put the clothes in the trash. It could be as simple as someone from the hostel cleaning the yard. Or that one. I'd advise against confronting that force.
The fuck's he on about? Kids? You hear that, Kuno? He thinks you're an infant or something.
I already talked to you.
See?
You think someone from the whirling might have been involved, maybe?
Not really. All we know is the victim's clothes are in the trash. The lid was locked and his establishment had the key. It's just a small loose thread.
Okay.
the lieutenant nods, then looks back into the trash container.
The mug. I'm getting that mug too. Well, I mean, a rock star's gotta have some sort of weird trinket.
You pick out a broken mug with an oddly racist depiction of the Yellow Man frolicking in saffron.
An antique?
Only in its social sensibility.
Eh,
It's just organic waste, cold and slimy on your hands. Apple
Well.
and potato pills, mostly. Unidentified sludge, and the occasional chicken bone thrown in for good measure. But hey, nothing. It's nothing. Nothing more to see here. What's this?
What?
A blue piece of plastic sticks out from the apple peels. It's shiny. Looks like the corner of something.
Figure it out.
Something larger. A clipboard. A blue plastic clipboard with moist papers hanging from it. They look badly damaged, but you can still make out forms and notes, written in a man's handwriting.
Ah.
Officer, is that your paperwork?
I don't know what this is.
It is. Look, the plastic has the RCM street grid on it.
Fuck.
You've even got an autopsy form in there. If you don't mind me asking, how did this get in the trash?
It has foreboding quality to it. Maybe I needed to lose it for the greater bloodlettering. To begin.
What are you talking about?
I speaketh the tongue.
Doeth thou also thorough inventories? You should take stock of your notes. Make sure it's all there. Official notes contain informants' names. If some of it has fallen into the hands of the RCM's adversaries, bloodletting may well ensue.
Okay, I'll do that.
It would also not hurt to start taking notes on the case. Now, tell me what your eagle eyes see. Or are we finished?
The container sounds a muffled gong.
That's one thing off the list. I think we got it all.
Well, just to make sure.
The smell of rotten food rises to greet you. You see soggy cartons, dirty rags, and organic waste.
Oh, okay.
The container sounds a muffled gong.
Right.
If you don't mind, please put the flashlight away. Some of us have photonic sensitivities.
Photonic sensitivity is not generally acknowledged by the medical establishment.
Oh, right. Sorry about that. No, this is my thing. Yep.
Put the flashlight away, officer. Having it is a privilege, not a right.
Fine. Fine.
Hello again. How can I help you? Sure. Let me have a look. Anything else you're thinking of selling? Another time, perhaps.
It's just a racist mug. What's there to read here? Not much.
There's quite a lot to read into here, actually. Look at all the content.
Oh boy, here we go. What are you going to say about a broken, tossed-away mug that you dug out of the garbage?
I'm going to push it into the faces of every merchant I find and tell them this is your inane ideology.
So again, you dug it out of the trash. Why? It wasn't going to offend anyone there. Why don't you just get back to your case?
Why is the mug so mad at me?
It's the ledger you found in the trash. A pitiful cabbage of white and yellow papers hanging from plastic board, barely held together by a metal clip. This sad display is made complete by by the faint smell of urinal cleaner.
Anything else?
There's a piece of toilet paper, or is it cleaning tissue? No, it's toilet paper, desperately sticking to the back of the blue plastic clipboard. It's a metaphor for you.
Okay. Fuck off.
Thank you, waterlogged ledger, for spelling it out for us.
Man, why are these things so aggressive to me?
Below the pathetics, terror. Do not look into its blue heart.
Inspect the toilet paper.
It's just toilet paper sticking to the back of the plastic clipboard. You can take it off if you want.
Yeah, I need to take it off.
Still wet, the toilet paper peels off the plastic easily. All you have to do is shake it off with your finger and voila! The ledger now looks marginally better.
Back to clipboard.
An aluminium block runs the width of the board, biting down on the paperwork. Its crocodile teeth are the only thing keeping the papers together. A regular pencil, the tip worn down to nothing, has been attached to the clip. The surface is interrupted by a silvery sticker. It's rectangular, sparkling with iridescence. You don't know how you didn't notice it before.
Hey, Lieutenant. What is this? Point at the sticker.
What? That thing. It's a halogen watermark. We use it for adding information to RCM property.
Interesting. What kind of information? How can I read it? How can I read it? That's all. Thank you.
Any capable light with the right wavelength will do.
For example,
All RCM vehicles have headlights designed to reveal halogen watermarks. Mine too.
This means you can read the watermarks if you just turn the lights on.
interesting. What kind of information?
It depends. Aside from an anti-counterfeiting stamp, mine has my station number and address. The information varies by date of issue.
Maybe yours will have how many cases you've solved. How many years you've been on the force, he's thinking. It'll have that.
Okay.
He returns to his neatly kept notes.
While a bunch of sodden papers sag from the clipboard in your hand, it's a sorry sight.
Browse the white papers.
They're not exactly white. They're yellowed in patches by sunlight and alcohol, and covered in dense blue handwriting. Ink escapes into watercolor patterns, reaching its tendrils across entire pages. The paper itself is checkered, with faint red lines, forming short paragraphs. Once in a while, there's a red stamp that exclaims, "Case files commit to paper." The case files themselves are plenty. You count more than 100 sodden, crumpled up, earmarked pages falling apart in your hands. They appear to be sufficiently organized and extremely dense, if mostly illegible.
What is there? What are they about?
Work, strife, poverty, the Jamrock Quarter. These are handwritten logs of investigations dating back to January 51, this year. The exact number is hard to estimate due to missing pages and an odd naming convention. But there are at least 20, maybe 30 cases undertaken, not completed, mind you. It's the middle of March. You have attempted 2 cases a week on average.
Is 2 cases a good caseload, Lieutenant? Eh? There was a mention of naming conventions here. I have to open an official case. Is there a room?
Huh? 2 complex cases to undertake is a lot, yes. You really have to push yourself. I would not suggest it, lest you start making mistakes.
cases. Nod and return to the case notes. 2 cases a week appears to have been my load, Lieutenant. I'm not sure I completed them all, though. Nod and return to your case notes.
Arson, petty theft, spousal abuse. Handwritten logs on dozens of investigations date back to January 51. Stamped case files. Commit to paper. These are your last couple of months in Revachol, Precinct 41, Jamrock Quarter.
There was a mention of a naming convention here.
Yes, it appears you employ a, shall we say, robust yet literary system. Each investigation has its case number written on the margins. Yet, still more tellingly, most are accompanied by a name.
Ah.
A title, one might say even. One that draws inspiration from snoop fiction and vespertine cop show staples.
Oh my, and they're written in capital letters, too!
Yes, all caps. One is called The Next World Mural. Another, The Square Bullet Hole Murders. Another yet, The Unsolvable Case.
More?
Others appear more light-hearted. The guys on a couch in an unexpected location, and the murder at the Ukar Parlor. Even the rare article-free collapsing tenement. Murder features prominently throughout. It's going to take an effort to piece these case files together, but it can be done. Once you're done inspecting them up close.
You mean the alphanumeric? Officer, precinct, time of arrival at the scene?
I mean a non-numeric one, with titles.
Oh, you mean the titular? Yes, well, so do I. In our defense, almost everyone in the RCM does.
Why is that?
It's a holdover from the early days of the RCM, right after the revolution, when the organization had little idea how to do things. It persists in an unofficial capacity. Officers use these titles to refer to their work among themselves.
I seem to have named a case the Square Ballot Hole Murders.
Again, in your defense, I seem to have named one the man with the hole in his head. That was a real person. His death was real. Still, I named it that, to amuse myself. I pray his loved ones never find out.
What happened to him?
Rail spiked through the head. He died. It was a workplace accident.
I have to open an official case? Is there room?
There is, for precisely one more. 15 pages near the end remain untouched by the damage. The checkered grid forms a structure of passages, breaking the case into subtasks to accomplish.
Ah.
Once all the tasks are accomplished, the case is complete.
Commit to paper.
Sadly, the ledger only comes with an old, worn-down lead pencil. It's unfitting of this monumental event.
Kim, do you have a pen?
The lieutenant looks at his blue notebook. 2 fat, shiny pens hang from the binder, like large-caliber bullets on an ammo belt. It's downright incriminating. He has little choice but to give you one, although he really does not want to. He is not really saying anything, just standing there, looking at them.
You know, you have to give one to me. Right? That is how human society works, I believe. Can I have one? Fine. I'll just use this crappy pencil.
Absolutely motionless at first, then animated slowly, imperceptibly even. The lieutenant begins to browse his notes again, leaving you to the case files. The threat has passed. He is thankful it has passed, and that he's gotten to keep both pens.
Uh-huh.
Onto to the paper with a brash free hand, uncannily similar to the rest of the letters. The wording comes easily. It's almost robotically simple, a language developed for mental rigor and simplicity.
Yes.
Inspect the victim's body. Interview the cafeteria manager. It's not exactly poetry, but poetry would be out of place.
Cross out the ones you've already finished.
A satisfying slash sounds across the paper. You're done, it seems to say. And you, and you. Things to be done and things already done. The composition of reality. This is an extremely useful tool for a detective of the citizens' militia. Now all that remains is to name the case.
Lieutenant, have you by any chance named our case?
No, actually. Any ideas?
The Furies are at home in the mirrors. The hanged man. The setting sun. Shit on a stick.
Great. That's great. That's actually what I was thinking too. The Hanged Man. Good, strong name. We have a very good name for the case now.
Yeah, the hanged man. Murder. Death. Betrayal. Rebellion. You can find all these in case file Hanged Man.
I'm going to start calling it the Hanged Man. It's good we sorted this out.
Oh, finally. You know what I'm gonna put this in? Yeah. Oh. That's it, baby.
You don't exactly close them, so much as distance yourself from the smelly papers. They're a little further from your nose now.
Can I read the case files now?
Yes, you can piece them together using the alphanumeric code on the margin. It always begins with HDB 41, then
Wait.
date of initialization and time of arrival on the scene, followed by the title. For example, HDB 41120111700, the Next World Mural.
Wait, HDB 41? Weren't those officers Tick? How long does it take to read a case?
It takes about half an hour to piece one together, using the system you've devised. Where do you want to start?
The unsolvable case.
AKA Leslie and Burke, AKA the public indecency drunk and the property damage drunk, is a cursed case. It has been passed from unsuspecting officer to unsuspecting officer for 10 years. On January 29, the unsolvable case made its way to you. Why you accepted it, it is unclear. Every officer, and indeed most civilians in Jamrock, know it's unsolvable. Leslie will always take his pants off when he's drunk. Burke will always trash everything. It's just what they do. It is their nature. You cannot change the nature of a man, and you can't lock them away because public indecency and small-scale property damage are not punishable by incarceration.
No. No.
The only way to stop flashing his genitals to bypassers and for Burke to stop dismantling signage and rear-view mirrors would be for them to stop drinking alcohol, which in their 40s or 50s, it's hard to tell because of their distorted features, is a medical improbability on par with you ceasing to produce the expression.
Yeah, you're right. Proceed. Couldn't we just keep them off the streets?
You would think that, but you're wrong. Where's the fun in exposing your genitals or breaking stuff in your own home? No, Leslie and Burke are on the corner of Main Street and Perdition. because that's where the action is. Can you keep yourself off the streets? Threatening fines, dragging them to the station, locking them up in the hellholes they live in, locking them up in the station, hypnotherapy, even trying to get the local gang of Zemyaki to take them out. The Zemyaki gave them ethanol, so Burke and Leslie would expose and rampage even harder. You tried it all, and still the complaints wouldn't stop, as they hadn't stopped for 10 years.
We can finally go back and... Oh.
It's plain to see from the files that you, Satellite Officer JV, and Special Consultant TH had more important cases to attend to. You uncover cross-reference to several ongoing investigations, each brought to a standstill every time you drive down Main Street. Because there they are, on the corner of Perdition. And what is Leslie doing? Good, you're learning. If the files are to be trusted, that's all there is to it. That and Burke breaking things, and the fact that they're both drunk. But then again, so are you. The case becomes considerably less comic one day, when Burke takes a swing at your ledger. He must have it confused with the property he likes to damage. But the joke's on him. You're drunk out of your mind on potent Pilsner. You slam the hardened plastic board in his face. Then you proceed to beat him unconscious with it.
Yeah, I did. I'm a rock star, that's what we do.
In the process, the ledger sustains damage. The compartment within, reserved for permeable documents, is jammed shut. You stop your assault on the now unconscious Burke to open it, but are unable to do so. The officer began to cry, reports Leslie, who, at this point, is tending to Burke. He came at us, and at us. I think he was trying to kill Burko. While trying to kill Burko, you slowly come around. The permeables compartment is open. You've smashed it open on poor Burko's kneecaps. The good news is, Burke can't walk anymore. Can't get out of his apartment, an invalid. With Burke to tend to, Leslie cuts back on the indecent exposure. Maybe he flashes his genitals to Burke. Who knows? But both drunks are off the street. The complaints stop. The unsolvable case is solved.
I'm great at my job.
Which is also why the officer responsible narrowly escapes a disciplinary hearing. The end. Do you want to read another one? Not much has changed in the meanwhile. A bunch of sodden papers still sags from the clipboard. Mazovian Socioeconomics.
Oh my gosh.
0.000% of communism has been built.
Yeah.
Evil child-murdering billionaires still rule the world with a shit-eating grin. All he has managed to do is make himself sad. He is starting to suspect Krasmazov fucked him over, personally, with his socio-economic theory. It has, however, made him into a very smart boy with something like a university degree in truth. Instead of building communism, he now builds a precise model of this grotesque, duplicitous world.
How dare him? I don't like the logical steps I'm taking here. I'm very concerned. I did not know these chained together. Alright, for now we will end this video. It seems like I'm building communism one step at a time. Alright, and see you in the next video of Disco Elysium. Bye.